see your smile over there. You like that little intro. Welcome back to Unfiltered, Unspoken podcast, where we told you we're going to continue to share life experiences. We have another amazing testimony from Shaniya. We're bringing her back from the group of the youth bullying, so she gets to tell her testimony individually. And what I appreciate about this is her parents give her the voice to talk out and to have a freedom how to express herself and how things affected her in life. Shaniya, we want to welcome you back. Thanking you for coming back to Unfiltered Unspoken podcast. If you can just tell the audience just a little bit about yourself, and then Sid is going to kick off the first question.
Hi, my name is Shaniya McClendon. I am 17 years old. I'm based in the Maryland area. I'm a 12th grader, and yeah.
Okay, so normally with our guests, we start in the adolescent years of their story, but this is where you are in your story currently, and unfortunately, you have been through some things that some adults even have never experienced. So tell us a little bit about at what age did your trauma start? What exactly that trauma was, and a little bit about how that developed, how your home structure was like, what your relationship was like with your parents. Everything there is to know.
Um, so the trauma started when I think I had just turned 6, and I would say I was living with my biological mother and her boyfriend at the time. So it was his house. It was his mother's house that we were living at. It was the only stable housing that my biological mother had ever had. So I think that she tried to keep it as hard as she can so she could keep me. Because at the time, she wasn't letting my dad see me. Like her and my dad just kept going back and forth on him wanting to see me and her basically using me as a pawn. And in the midst of that, the trauma had started with her boyfriend grooming me at first, and then he started to rape me.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Shania. I just want to stop in a disclaimer. Um, for any parent listening to this and your child going through something, please don't disregard what they're saying to you. Listen, take action, and be there to support your child and take the next steps to protect them. Shania, I want to go back because I want to talk a little bit about the grooming stage, if you remember, at the age of 6. Can you tell
Hmm.
us how the grooming started? So, if there's another child in a situation like you, that they can reflect on what grooming is and how it happens.
Hmm. At first, it just started off with him just like always wanting me to like sit in his lap, or just being like, "Oh, just come on, like sit in my lap" or something. And then it escalated to him just saying certain stuff about the whole, because people in that generation, they do the little boyfriend, "Oh, you my little girlfriend" or "my little boyfriend" or something like that. It progressed to that, to him coming into my room late at night and then touching on me. And basically, at first I didn't know because I was asleep. And then one night I had woke up and I had seen him, and I had screamed for my biological mother, and she had came in the room, and she seen it and she just like left out. So it started off as just him making certain jokes that adults are not supposed to make towards children, and then him coaching me into doing certain things. But I never knew that it was bad until I'll go over my dad's house and then my dad doesn't do that to me, but I call you my stepdad and you do that to me. So it was just me having to find out for myself what it actually was, but I never wanted it. It was just, it was grooming. It was a grooming stage.
And did anything, progress in what he was doing to you? Anything go further? If you are comfortable talking about that.
Oh yeah, it did progress. It progressed a lot. It went from him just touching on my thigh to me waking up and him jerking off in front of me, and then it progressed into him actually raping me. So it went by real quick because once he got comfortable with knowing that my biological mother wasn't going to do anything, and even if she did, she wasn't going to leave for too long because it was the only stable housing that she has ever had in her life. So I think, in a sense, she used me to get what she needed at the time, which was if she had to sacrifice me, it will be okay because then she'll have housing. And then at the same time, her and him were on drugs together. He was like her drug, he was the one giving her the drugs. So at the time, she was being abused, she was on crack, and she was smoking weed, and they were doing it together. So it was a lot of things that was going on that progressed from it.
So you said he lived with his mother lived there too?
No, it was his dad and mother's house that she had passed on to him.
Okay. So did you ever say something to your mother?
Yeah, she walked in multiple times. Like I would scream for her, and then she walked in maybe about more than a dozen times. She had
Oh,
walked in, and then she will walk in and then she'll like stop like she was in shock. And then she'll like he'll yell, close the door, and then she'll close the door and go back in her
hold on. What you say? You said your mother walked in on him assaulting you
room. I
inappropriately.
would scream for her, and then in the house, it's a certain type of thing with the door. He had broke the door so bad to where once you close the door, you cannot get in. And he made it to where it wasn't no knob on the door. You had to put your hands through the door and actually like forcefully open it. And if you forcefully open it, the door would like fall off the hinges. So he made it to where it was easy for him to come in, but only he could come back out. So like if I remember I tried to run to the back door because the the room had two, it was like two rooms in one room. So you come in one way and the only way you can leave out is the back door, the back window actually. And he made it to where once you come in, you can't come back out because the door was broke. So he knew once she closed the door, and if you slam it good enough, you cannot get out. And that was how it went. So she knew.
And what is her, I guess, attitude towards you, after the fact? That she at all remorseful, trying to make up for it in other ways, explaining herself out of it? Like what is you two's like relationship, knowing that she knows what's going on and her knowing what's going on?
Um, at the time, she was very, she's the type of person that she likes to brush off what it is, whatever she's seen, and just act like it's just another day. still to this day, every time that she's tried to get in contact with me, it's always been on some "I miss you." Um, I never wanted to hurt you. It was just this and this and that. She really has never apologized. She's always tried to manipulate me to make me feel like it didn't happen, and or it didn't happen in the way that she feels like that I feel like it happened, and I which I know it happened. She's always tried to backtrack and just try to act like things are the same way it used to be before the assault and all the raping started happening. And it was this past, I would say May, she reached out to me on TikTok, and she was basically just trying to get in contact with me. And I was like, until you apologize or even acknowledge what happened at which we have, it's like a code word that I always say to make her remember, and it's the greenhouse. And I had told her, until you can acknowledge what happened at the greenhouse, I don't want to talk to you. Because if you're not giving me an apology, I don't want to speak to you. Because it gets to a point where you're making me feel like you don't care, which your actions speak louder than words. You don't care. You just want things to be how it used to be, and it'll never be how it used to be. So that's how it is now. She was very bitter when it came to like me seeing my dad, because she was scared that I was going to say something to my father. And at the time, my dad never knew. My mom, she never knew. Nobody knew until I said something, which I've always tried to give like hints or like ask a question and try to make it into like a hypothetical question. And it was never a hypothetical question. I really was trying to tell somebody. And that's why I had said in the bullying, I had went through a phase where I would tell the kids that was in my school, in my classroom, what was happening, trying to get help. I even had told my teacher, and that's what had sparked the CPS thing with in my hometown, with the CPS coming to her house, well, their house at the time. So
So, okay, I don't go back. I don't even know where to go to. Okay, so when CPS was called, did you tell them what happened?
actually, I once CPS was called, that's when I started getting abused by my rapist. And I think she was a prostitute. So when she had to leave,
Your mother was a prostitute?
my biological mother was a prostitute. So when she'll leave me with him. Once the CPS, once CPS had got involved and she had told him, he started abusing me. And once CPS had came over, the night before, I had got beaten so bad to where I had to sit. She had put Epsom salt in my bath and made me like sit in it so I could heal, I guess. And I was getting beaten bad to where the next day I had got a whooping before CPS came. And she was just like, if you tell them, I'm going to beat you. And I was so scared of her because you can't beat him, so you beat me. But at the same time, she's being abused, and then she's taking that on me and she's abusing me because she doesn't want her abuser to get caught.
So CPS
So
never
I
asked you to
didn't.
look at your body? They never asked you to.
I was, it was so bad. Every single time CPS came over, I was in jeans.
And they never
Cause
asked you to lift your clothes up?
nope. The They would just ask me questions, and after they asked me the questions that they wanted to ask me, they left.
So you never told them anything.
I couldn't. She was sitting right there. Her and him was sitting at the table that they were asking me the questions with. And I remember the CPS workers had told them, they were like, hey, can y'all go in another room so she can say something? And they were like, no, we feel comfortable right here. Do you feel, Shania, do you feel comfortable to us being right here? And I didn't have no choice but to say yes, because it's either, it's just, I'm stuck with them. Because when y'all leave me with them, who do I have? Because they weren't letting me see my dad at the time. They weren't letting me see my mom at the time. They weren't letting me see my siblings at the time. So I couldn't do anything. So yeah,
And why? Just to be clear, you said that his like his action started ramping up towards you after CPS started visiting.
because at first it was just the raping, and because he felt comfortable with doing it because she gave him the free will. And then after it had got showed that I told somebody, because the teacher had told CPS that I told my teacher. So my teacher basically snitched on me to CPS, and CPS told, they had a video recording of what the teacher said. And then I think it was my dad and my mom that had sparked the case too, because something along the lines that had sparked the case. And then after they had got the notification that I had said something, that's when his action started ramping
Jesus. Oh, so at what point did somebody actually believe you? How long did this go on?
up. I'll say that I had the courage, because right when they started letting me see my dad again, I had the courage and I told my big sister. And I was just like, okay. Because at the time, my big sister was like my outlet. Like, I just felt comfortable with talking to her at the time. And then my cousins were always around me. So my cousins were seeing it too. But they'll be like, are you okay? Or something like that. And my cousins will always try to say something, but they'll always tell my mom. But so when I had actually had the courage to tell my sister did a video recording of me and my cousin. At the time, I was very mature for my age because I had to be. So it was times that I was taking, they had this free lunch during the summertime at high schools, that in the so I
Hold up.
that was the whole thing.
Okay, we missed that part. You bleeped out Shania.
Hmm?
We you bleeped out. You said your cousins took a video recording of you.
Oh Lord, hold on.
Okay, following up with Sid's question, we got cut off. You were talking about your cousin's video recorded you. Your sister video recorded you and your cousins.
Yeah, she had recorded me and my cousin basically telling what had happened, what had been happening for 3 years, almost 3 years, because I was 9 when I finally told somebody, when I could tell somebody. And we had just told her, and I guess we laid it flat out on a plate. And then she told my mom. And then she was like, well, she told my mom. They didn't tell they told my biological mom, but the adults told my biological mom. We didn't tell them because they had already knew. Not, I don't think that my auntie knew, but I really don't know. So that's how it all came out.
So what did they, when they found out and they told your mother, what did they do? Like what transpired after they went to your mother? Because your mother is allowing him to abuse you.
Yeah.
Did that make it worse for you?
Well, it did. It did. It got more, I would say, ruthless after that. Um, it was like he was. I don't want to make it like too like sad, but it went from him just like raping me, like fingering me, to it going to full force, him putting his penis inside of me. That's what I would say. So it went from, I wouldn't say that it was because of what had happened, because it was already happening, but it went from just him just not having a care in the world and just like, oh, okay, everybody already knows, so might as well.
That's terrible, and I'm so sorry that happened to you. That, however, you said you had siblings. Were these siblings from your mom?
No, actually, with my biological mom, I'm the only child. Yeah.
Mm,
With my biological mom, I'm the only child. With my dad, I have a little brother. His name is Cortland. And then I have a big brother and a big sister and the other sister, Kimaya, Monique, and Fudge.
And that's with her stepmom.
yeah.
Hmm. My
Okay.
mom.
So
Her
it.
mom, her bonus mom.
Okay. All right. So that kind of eliminates my second question. But where did I even want to go with this? How were you? Kind of to the outside world. What was it like in school? Outside of the teachers knowing, or the teacher incident. Um, what were your grades like? What were your relationship with other people like? Um, how was that for you?
Hold on, wait a minute. My stuff is going in and out again. Wait a minute. I would say it's hard. It's hard because I think that I don't really, I don't want to be like, I don't want to make it sad. I don't really, my teenage life is really dry compared to like everybody else's. I don't trust people too quickly. I don't really feel comfortable around men. So when I do and I talk and I'm out in the open, that just means I feel comfortable. Um, it eliminated a little bit like me being so like open to relationships in a sense. Uh, my acclimation is a little. I think I deal with things differently than other people. I don't really. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I think I don't. I think I stay in my house way more because of it. I'm very hyper. Like I don't wear certain clothes that girls wear. I don't. I feel more comfortable when I'm covered in a sense, and I think that's why it scarred me so bad because now I don't fully express myself how I really want to.
And I want to go back a little bit to when you were in school from 3 to 9, and when you came out. You said that you were bullied. So you tried to tell, and you went through a bully phase from trying to express what happened to you.
Hmm.
Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Um, The teacher really didn't care. And it's a sad case where I would just say that I trusted the wrong teacher. But at that time, I never would have thought that she would betray me in a way, because after I told her, she called my biological mom. That was the first person she called. She didn't go to CPS first. She went and she called my biological mom, and she told my biological mom what I was saying, because at the same time she had seen a notebook, because I was, at the time I was very suicidal, because I was like, why, like this is happening to me, and me just trying to grasp everything, it just got to a point where I just didn't want to be here anymore. So in my journal, I'll write, I want to kill myself, I want to kill myself, over and over and over, because in my brain that's all I'm thinking. It's just like, okay, just want to get out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. So while she's calling her about what I said, she's calling her about what she's seen in my notebook, which is me being suicidal. Not thinking, well, this little girl just told me that her mother knows, because I told her that she knows, she lets him do it. She's just thinking about her. And that's how it went. I practically asked her, I had said, can I not go to lunch so I can speak with you privately? Because I didn't feel comfortable with talking to nobody else, because I got bullied for it. And by the time I got bullied for it, she didn't really try to do anything else with the bullying. She was just like, oh, well, I don't know why you would tell anybody that. She really wasn't fully there. She was thinking about her own self.
And what, if any, were your outlets at the time? If what was something that brought you joy, if anything, or what were you doing to kind of get lost, from your reality?
Hold on, you guys. My dad's calling me. Say I enjoyed being with my cousins, being surrounded by family at the time really brung me out of the funk.
Okay, that's good.
I would
I
say,
want to, can you hear me, Shaniya?
hmm
Oh, I want to ask really quick, because you mentioned the teacher going through all of this and feeling like you didn't want to be here. Um, did you ever attempt, or was this those just thoughts from everything that you were going through?
oh no, I wasn't. Yes, it was thought, and then I started when it got ruthless, I would say. But every time that I'll do it, um, he would like catch me, and
Okay,
it'll
so
be in the midst of me doing it,
what were you
and
doing
then
again?
I'll be cutting myself.
So you were cutting your arms, or
I was cutting under my legs because I didn't want them to actually see it.
and how long did that last, Shania?
I don't think I stopped until I got went to my dad's house permanently. And even when, like, I'll still catch myself like nowadays trying to get out of it, because when certain thoughts pop back up and we go through it all over again, you just want to numb the pain. So I'll catch myself still to this day.
At what point did your dad find out? How old were you? What was that whole situation like? What can you recall? Was his reaction? Tell us a little bit about that moment.
My dad found out when I was 9. So it had been going on for at least 3 years. So I really didn't see his first reaction. It's just nowadays, all I can say is he cradles me a little tight, like way more tighter. He's very, way more overprotective because of certain situations. And it's like he doesn't like talking about it. He's like real a sad story. And I don't think he likes knowing that I actually went through what I went through. I think it like hurts his feelings or like don't makes him feel bad.
And your dad is with you now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, do you still have nightmares? So through from your when it was happening to you, did you have nightmares? And if you did, do you still have nightmares?
At the time, yes, I was having nightmares. I still do sometimes wake up from them, and I'll have like a panic attack waking up, and I'll just have to keep on like telling myself like you're out of it, it's done, it's not there anymore. But yeah, I'll still catch myself having them to this day, but they're less frequent. They're only frequent when she tries to reach out to me, and it brings me back to how I was feeling.
Outside of her still trying to contact you, what have you found are your biggest triggers? Just now being in a healthier environment, what happens most that kind of brings you back or makes you think about it a little bit more often?
I would say because I still it's like still triggers that will bring me right back. I'll say yelling, raising voice, like people raise their voice, or like hitting something, like when somebody gets mad and they like hit stuff, that brings me back. Um, Sometimes affection from like men will just like bring me back into it. It's a lot of things that like I still have triggers over that I thought I had gotten over, but I never did. So I'll say men outside of like the people that I know, the men that I know now, outside of them, trigger. Um, It's a lot of things that I still get triggered around. But those are the only ones that I have this on the top of my brain.
Okay. I want to ask, did anyone confront your mother and her boyfriend? And if so, is he in jail? Like what happened? What happened to them?
Yes, it was like a lot of people confronted my biological mother and her boyfriend. I don't think he's in jail because after I ran away, he had found out that he did it to somebody else's kid, and then I don't think that he went to jail for it. But they had said that it was one of those things where the first time it happened, she told her mom, and her mom it was dead after that. So yeah,
How is this man on the street? How is your mother on the street? Don't they have a law now? I think they have a law where you can go back and it doesn't matter how the age that they can get in trouble.
I don't know, but you if they locking up women for killing men in domestic violence situations, then I just feel like that's even worse. But here we are. Um, what have you, since everything's been said and done, and being with your parents you are with now, have you had to run into, anybody that has have abused you? That one person in particular, um, and how pushy is your mom about forming a relationship with her?
I have not read into her or him at all. The times we went back downtown to like my hometown, I've never ran into her. I've ran into family members. Like I ran into my grandma on her side. I ran into. I think that's the only person I've actually ran into. And she's pushy. Like she doesn't care. She still doesn't have any remorse to this day. And if she does, it's not shown to me. It's shown to other people to get in contact with me.
How was your grandmother when you ran into her? Did any of the family say anything? No one tried to protect you
Yeah,
after?
they've apologized. They've apologized. They've been the most apologetic, and half of them didn't even know. Nobody knew except for her and him. And I don't know if my auntie knew. I don't think that she did know. So it what happened in that house stayed in that house because they made it stay.
And what I guess since when you were able to go, with your dad and your mom now, um, how long do you think it kind of took you to adjust? Was there a period of adjustment? Was it a kind of a hard switch from what you were used to or what you were growing up in? How was your adjustment to being in a new environment?
I would say it took me a little while to adjust back to, well, to the environment that my dad and my mom actually give me. It's hard. It at first when was happening, it was very hard, but I would say that it was a time of adjustment because I always would think that it would just happen, but it got to a point where I was just like, well, dad don't do that, so my dad would never do that, and yeah, I'll say it was a period of adjustment when it had first started happening. Like basically, I feel like it made me a little tense with my dad at first, but then when I started living with my father full time, it was no period of adjustment. I was like, Dad, don't do that. My dad will never do that ever. And yeah, now I feel way more comfortable. Everything is way better. But at first, when it was happening, yeah, it was a period of adjustment.
I want to ask, what would you say if you could, to your mother and I guess her ex-boyfriend. I don't know if she's still with him, but what would you say to them?
I think she was still dating him after the fact. Yeah, I, I
What
think
would
she's
you
still
say to
dating
them?
him until like something happened after. I don't know because I don't think we'll ever have a conversation until the apology is given. But I'll just ask why. Um, I think that would be the only question. Oh,
Um,
and how was it that easy?
I'm sorry. Go
How was it
ahead.
that easy to just give me up like that? I think that'll be a second question.
Hmm. What would you say to him?
Oh, I don't think I'll say anything.
You wouldn't say anything. If we gave you a voice, how he affected you from the hurt lifted, and we give you this platform to say it, because if he ever see it, this is your message.
Um, I hate you. Um, you messed up my life bad. Like I don't think my life will ever be the same because of what you did to me. I think that'll be everything about it.
And if you hear this, we stand behind her. Go ahead, Sid. Sorry.
No, and do. Um, well, now being as though you are, a little older now, general high school age girl. How have you seen, or have you actually been with, just dating or, liking um, boys, girls, maybe just relationships in general? How have you been able to navigate that? Are you even interested in that at all? Like how has all of that affected you in that aspect?
Um, I would say at first, if you would ask my younger self, it would be non-existent. I didn't want to. I was very scared of thinking that it was just going to happen again, just with somebody my age. Now I have to actually grasp that everybody is not a monster. Like everybody in this world is not a monster. How that person was. Yes, it is some people out in this world that are monsters, but I just think that it's hard to date, but I don't really think that I let the past affect me now that I'm older and more mature. I don't let the past affect me. Does it affect me in other ways? Yeah, but when it comes to dating, I don't think that I let it affect me a lot. Probably like 85%, but I'm getting out of it, trying to.
Understood. And you're supposed to protect yourself. And if you ever ready to date, then you are. And if you never, then you don't. Right. Um, I want to ask through all of this, and going with your bonus mom and your dad. They saved you, so thank God that they were in a position to take you out of that situation, to get you out of that situation. I want to ask, did you receive professional help? Are you getting professional help to help you navigate through your challenges from someone else messing your life up?
I did get professional help after. when they had found out, they put me in therapy. We stopped therapy because they had basically told me that I was needed was the people that were around me to be better in a sense. So I did. They did take me to therapy. We did do the whole nine. But after when they had found out, I do want to go back to therapy. That's the thing that I want to do before I get older and I want to have kids. I actually want to get properly healed before anything because it's I'm breaking the generational curse. It's a generational curse in that family of this. I'm I'm the last one that it lands onto. So I'm gonna be properly healed before I have any kids or even thinking about having any kids. So I do want to go back to therapy. And yeah.
I love that. Yep, see it.
In school, how are you doing? What's going on? Just, what have you been able to accomplish? What are your goals now that you are in a healthier environment and you can, dream dreams and, allow the space to imagine, um, you know, what, what's tea?
Shania.
Um, now I can start. Now I can start bragging. Okay.
Girl, you better brag.
I yeah, I am in an internship program with the Department of Social Services. I work in CPS. We're making changes, okay? Um, I got an a paid internship in CPS. I I'm making honor roll. I made honor roll 3 quarters in a row last quarter in my 11th grade year. We're aiming for 3.1s and higher. I think that's it. I think that's it right now.
Okay, you go, girl. You go, girl. So, are you going to take some of the things that you went through and try to get social services to see another side so that uh, youth are protected?
Um, I haven't really got into any cases because we're just in like the beginning stages right now. They're just trying to let me get they're trying to ease me into it so I don't get too scared and I leave. They're doing like the little ease in type thing, but I'm in the process of reading cases and reading them back to them, and they're just trying to make sure I can retain knowledge and give it back to them. That's the stage I'm in now. But
Yeah,
we
but I
not
mean,
even no
going
big
forward,
stuff yet.
would you think about if you're still in social services? Is that some area that you will focus on? Like, if you have cases with kids, you should know some of the signs. Is that stuff that you would want to be more involved in?
I would say I do want to be more involved in, like cases like mine where people don't feel heard and they need help and they need certain services. I'll say that I feel like because I went through it, I know the signs of when stuff is happening. So I won't be one of those people that don't know anything about it and just try to be like, well, no, it's not happening. But as a person that has been through it and they know the signs, I know if it's happening or not. I say cases like mine, I want to be more involved in.
Awesome. That's definitely awesome. Um, I don't know, Dimitri, did you want to go into your last question since we having
Yeah,
these little
sure.
issues? We can wrap it up.
I know the devil playing with us today, ain't he? He do when we trying to get that message out. Shania, what from your life experience, what would you tell parents or even when a child is reaching out to a teacher or authority, what would you tell them so that they can be there to support their kids and not brush what you went through under the rug? You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute. Unmute your phone. Your phone on mute. Hold up. It's still on mute. Okay.
Um, oh, that's a hard question. I really don't know. I think that's one thing that I. Oh, that's a good question, Miss Cookie. We gonna have to go ahead to that one. I don't know. I really don't. Oh, why are you trying to get me like this at the end? Why you want to get me like
Look,
this at the end?
you never know who you may help. If someone is calling out, what would you tell them? Like to pay them more attention. Like what would you say? Her phone went on mute.
Say, I would say bring them in with open arms. Do not try to tell them that they're lying or that they're not telling the truth. Um, don't try to stop them from saying certain stuff. Let them lay it to you flat on the plate. Because if they feel comfortable with even telling you something like that, you should feel honored in a way. Just be open and give them support. Don't try to shut them up or make them feel like they're lying about something because with anything like this, like in my situation, I feel like I went to the people that I felt comfortable with. So I would just say keep them close because you never know what it is, what it feels like to be in their shoes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. City said,
All right. Um, Thank you for being here with us this evening. As we do with all of our guests, we like to give you a chance to participate in shameless plug. Um, Anything that you want to shout out, anything you want to draw traffic to, anything you want people to know, um, you got the floor.
unmute Shania.
You ain't gonna get that.
Okay. Who you
I would say my fundraiser and the interns that work at my job.
okay, what's your
Shout out
fundraiser?
to them. We love them.
Okay, what's your
Yeah.
fundraiser?
So the shout outs are for those two. I got too much. I don't do a lot. So
Okay. What's your fundraiser so people can support?
hold on. Over here.
Or you can send it to me and I'll put it under the post. I think I have it.
Yeah, that's it. I
When
don't
does
got
your
too much.
fundraiser end? Okay, I'll get her fundraiser and I'll post it with the post and when it ends. But we had some technical difficulties today. That's okay because we still got to share Shania's testimony. And we want to thank you for tuning in to Unfiltered Unspoken podcast, where we're going to continue to share life experiences and we're going to continue. Long as God keep bringing them, we're going to continue to share life experiences in hopes that someone will connect and start the journey to healing. And let me tell you, parents, guardians, or authorities, if a child comes to you and tries to open up about something that is happening, don't disregard it. It's not a joke. Please take it serious because think about if you had a child or if that was one of your relatives that you wanted to protect. The secrets and homes got to stop and abusing and inappropriately touching these kids. It just needs to stop. I hope y'all take a look at y'all reflections in the mirror for those that are abusing kids and you go get some professional help because you need it harming these kids and damaging them. So that's all I gotta say on that. And see, we're gonna keep sharing life experiences, ain't we?
That's right.
That's right. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tune in each and every Monday at 8 p.m. ET. Like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube, Unfiltered, Unspoken podcast. You'll see the symbol that's up on the back of our screen. So just come support us. It's free. It's free. It's free, baby. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.